Yesterday, an elderly man walked into my clinic. He was 78 years old, a former U.S. Army GI, disciplined, strong, and committed. For nearly 30 years, he walked every single morning without fail, believing that walking alone would keep him healthy. But one unexpected fall changed everything. He lost his independence. And soon after, he lost his will to live. As a physician with over 60 years of experience and thousands of senior patients, I've seen this far too often. Walking, though beneficial, is not enough to protect us from the silent dangers of aging. Let me ask you this. Did you know that 50% of seniors who fall never walk independently again? Or that 1 in 3 dies within a year of their first serious fall? It's a harsh truth. Many seniors believe they're doing the right thing by walking daily, yet never realize they're not building the strength or balance they truly need. If you're over 65 and only relying on walks for your health, this video might just save your life. What you'll learn in the next few minutes could mean the difference between staying independent or becoming a burden. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I still feel pretty good for my age? Maybe you take a daily walk around your neighborhood or to the corner store. Your doctor says it's great you're staying active, and your friends say you're aging well. So, what's the harm? You're moving. That should be enough, right? But maybe, just maybe, you've started to notice little things. A longer time getting up from the chair, a slight wobble when bending to pick something up, or an unexpected sense of fatigue after climbing the stairs. You brush it off as normal aging, something to accept, not challenge. But what if that assumption is quietly steering you toward danger? Here's something most people don't realize. Aging doesn't come with loud alarms. It creeps in silently, slowly, subtly, but relentlessly. Your muscles aren't sore, they're shrinking. Your bones don't ache every day, but they're weakening. And your sense of balance, the very thing that keeps you upright, is fading little by little, often without you noticing. You may think that walking daily is enough to stop this decline. It's not. Not if it's the kind of walk where your heart doesn't race and you never break a sweat. Let's talk about science. Simply, after the age of 30, we begin losing muscle mass, a process known as sarcopenia. And by the time we hit our 70s, we can lose as much as 12 to 15% of muscle mass every decade. That's not just cosmetic. Muscles support your joints, your bones, and your brain health. Without them, your balance worsens, your gait shortens, and your ability to catch yourself when stumbling disappears. Balance is another silent casualty. It's not just in your legs, it's in your inner ear, your spine, and even your brain. As balance weakens, your risk of falling increases dramatically. And falls, for older adults, are not simple accidents. They are often life-altering events. One fall can result in a broken hip, weeks in the hospital, or a permanent loss of independence. And here's another hidden truth. Joints, like muscles, dry out with age. The fluid that keeps them moving smoothly reduces, and without strength building and flexibility exercises, even routine movements can lead to stiffness, pain, or injury. Now, think about this. If your daily walk never challenges your body, if it doesn't make you breathe harder, sweat a little, or stretch your muscles, it's not slowing these changes. It could be giving you a false sense of security. This isn't to say walking is bad. It's not. Walking boosts mood, circulation, and cardiovascular health. However, walking alone is not enough to stop muscle loss, improve balance, or strengthen joints. So what can you do? Here's the good news. The solution doesn't require fancy equipment, expensive gym memberships, or extreme workouts. It starts with small, intentional movements that activate the parts of your body that walking doesn't reach. Try this. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth. Hold on to the sink if needed. Over time, you'll notice better stability. Do 5 slow squats from your chair before each meal. It strengthens the thighs and improves your ability to rise and sit. Lift your heels off the floor while standing at the counter. It trains the calves, which are key to steady walking. And yes, go for your walk. But walk briskly enough to feel warm, to breathe deeper, to push your body just a little. These may sound like simple habits, but their impact is profound, especially if done consistently. Let me tell you about someone who learned this the hard way. Mr. Harold Jenkins was a retired mechanic from Ohio, 76 years old, sharp as a tack, and proud of his morning walks. Rain or shine, he'd make his daily 2-mile loop. But one winter, he slipped on a wet sidewalk, broke his hip, and spent 6 months in rehab. When I met him, he said, "Doc, I walked every day. How could this happen?" Harold believed walking was enough, and so do many others. After his recovery, he started gentle strength and balance exercises at home. Within months, he was walking again, but this time with stronger legs, better posture, and real confidence. His only regret? Not starting sooner. And that brings me to you. You might feel fine today, but if you're over 65, these silent changes are already at work. Doing nothing might feel easier, and walking might seem like a noble habit. But relying only on walking is like using an umbrella in a hurricane. It may give the illusion of protection, but it won't stop the storm. You don't have to become a bodybuilder. You don't have to do yoga poses or lift heavy weights. But you do have to be intentional. Add one small movement today. Just one. Because every step you take now, every squat, every stretch, every heel raise, is a message to your body that you're not giving up. That you still want strength. That you still want independence. You have more power than you think. Your future self, the one who climbs stairs without fear, who picks up grandkids without pain, who walks without needing a cane, will thank you for the effort you make today. So go ahead. Stand up. Balance on one leg. Feel your muscles respond. That quiet shift you just felt? That's not aging. That's you fighting it back. You've probably heard it said before, "At my age, it's too late to start exercising." Maybe you've even said it yourself while watching others do stretches or lifting weights on TV. And honestly, it's easy to believe. Your joints feel stiffer, your legs a little shakier, and the idea of starting something new, especially something physical, can feel overwhelming. It's understandable. Most of us were taught that physical activity is for the young, for athletes, for gym-goers, for those trying to stay in shape. But if you've reached your 70s, 80s, or even 90s, doesn't it feel like that ship has sailed? But what if that belief is completely wrong? What if your body, even now, is still capable of growing stronger, more stable, and more alive than it has in years? For decades, we assumed aging meant inevitable decline. Muscles wasting away, bones thinning, balance fading. But today, science tells a different story. A hopeful story. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Researchers at Boston University conducted a fascinating study involving people just like you, seniors aged 85 and older. These individuals weren't lifelong athletes. Many had already faced health challenges, including weakness, falls, or limited mobility. For 6 months, they followed a basic, safe exercise routine designed for older adults. It wasn't extreme. It didn't involve fancy machines or personal trainers. It was slow, thoughtful movement, a combination of light resistance training, balance work, and flexibility exercises, done just a few times a week. The results were nothing short of incredible. At the end of the study, participants experienced a 13% increase in muscle mass. Yes, muscle growth even after 85. Their balance improved by 26%, significantly reducing their risk of falling. But perhaps most importantly, they reported greater confidence in daily tasks, like walking upstairs, getting dressed, or even reaching for a can of soup in the cupboard. Think about that for a moment. If your body can build new muscle and better balance at 85, what could it still do at your age? Even if you're 70, 75, or 80. The truth is, your body hasn't given up on you. Not yet. It may be slower. It may need a little more care. But the potential to improve is still there, hidden beneath years of "I can't" and "it's too late." And here's something most people overlook. Exercise isn't just about muscles. Movement stimulates your brain, improves your mood, boosts your immune system, and increases your ability to stay independent. Which, let's be honest, is what we all want most as we grow older. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, okay, but where do I start? The answer is simpler than you think. You don't need to join a gym. You don't need to buy weights or fancy gear. You can start right now, in your living room, kitchen, or backyard. Here are 3 gentle ways to begin. Chair squats. Sit in a sturdy chair. Stand up slowly, then sit back down with control. Do this 5 times in a row. This strengthens your thighs and hips, critical muscles for walking and balance. Heel raises. Hold the back of a chair for support. Raise your heels off the ground, then lower slowly. Do this 10 times. It trains your calves and improves circulation. 1 leg stand. Stand near a counter or wall. Gently lift 1 foot off the ground and hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Switch sides. This builds balance and ankle strength. Start with just 5 minutes a day. That's all. Don't worry about how much you can do. What matters is that you start. Still not convinced? Let me tell you about someone who reminds me that it's never too late. Her name is Dorothy Simmons, and she lives in a small town outside Des Moines, Iowa. At 91, Dorothy was living alone, relying on a cane, and afraid to take her trash to the curb. She had fallen once and feared it would happen again. But one morning, she watched a video online that said, "Just try 5 minutes." She laughed but figured she had nothing to lose. That first day, she did 5 slow chair squats. The next day, she added heel raises. A week later, she balanced on 1 leg while brushing her teeth. It wasn't easy. Her legs trembled. Her arms ached. But she kept going. 3 months later, she called her daughter and said, "I walked to the mailbox without my cane." They both cried. A year after she started, Dorothy now walks to church on Sundays, carries groceries from her car, and does light gardening in her backyard. She still exercises 5 days a week, 5 minutes at a time. "I feel alive again," she said. "Like my body remembered what it was capable of." And that's exactly what I want for you. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to believe that your body, even now, can still grow, adapt, and recover. There's a saying in medicine that we use often: motion is lotion. When you move, you nourish your joints, your brain, your spirit. You breathe deeper. You sleep better. You stand taller. That is the power of even the simplest movement. So I'll leave you with this. If Dorothy could do it at 91, so can you. If a group of 85-year-olds in Boston could build new muscles and rediscover their balance, then so can you. And if you've told yourself for years that it's too late, I challenge you, lovingly, to try. Just once. Just 5 minutes. Because it's never too late to take that first step. You're standing at the kitchen counter, reaching for a cup on the top shelf, and for just a second, your body wobbles. You steady yourself quickly, maybe even chuckle, thinking, "Wow, I'm getting old." It happens again a few days later, bending to tie your shoes. Or while stepping off a curb. Most people dismiss it, a moment of dizziness, a tiny loss of footing, nothing serious. But what if that wobble was your body trying to warn you? What if it's not just age, but a signal that your sense of balance, once second nature, is quietly slipping away? We don't often think about balance. When we're younger, it's automatic. But as we age, the systems that keep us steady begin to weaken. Our leg muscles, our vision, our inner ear, and even the brain's ability to coordinate it all. And when the balance goes, falls come next. Here's the harsh truth. 1 in 3 adults over 65 falls every year. Many end up with broken bones, lost independence, or worse. And the most tragic part? So many of these falls could have been prevented. Not with medication, but with movement. You don't need to wait for a fall to realize how important balance is. You can take action now, and it starts with the simplest thing. Practicing being off balance, safely. Let me explain why. Your body learns balance like it learns anything else. Through training. Think of it like brushing your teeth. The more you do it, the better it gets. When you challenge your balance, even for a few seconds a day, you activate key muscles in your legs, feet, and core, while also training your brain to react quickly and recover if you ever stumble. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. And you don't need a gym or equipment to do it. Here's one of the best ways to begin: the one-leg stand. Stand next to a sturdy chair or kitchen counter. Place one hand lightly for support. Slowly lift one foot off the ground and hold it in the air for 5 to 10 seconds. You might wobble at first. That's okay. It's part of the process. Then switch legs. Over time, as you get stronger, try holding for 15, even 30 seconds. And eventually, if you're able, try with your eyes closed, but only once you're confident and always near something you can hold. Another great balance builder is slow turning. Stand in place with your arms stretched out. Slowly rotate your body in a circle, keeping your movements smooth and your head aligned with your spine. This helps train the vestibular system in your inner ear, the part responsible for detecting movement and preventing dizziness. These exercises may seem small, but the science is clear: they work. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that older adults who practiced simple balance exercises for 10 minutes a day reduced their risk of falling by over 30%. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Take Mr. Ray Morrison from Spokane, Washington. Ray is 82 and used to be a high school science teacher. After a minor stroke at age 79, he found himself unsteady and afraid to walk without a cane. "I didn't want to fall," he told me, "but I also didn't want to live stuck to a chair." He began doing one-leg stands every morning while brushing his teeth. He added slow-turning exercises before lunch. And bit by bit, his confidence returned. Last Christmas, he walked into a church, no cane, no help, smiling ear to ear. "I feel like I got a piece of myself back," he said. And you can too. Because balance isn't about youth, it's about training. And it's never too late to start training again. These movements won't exhaust you. They don't require strength or speed. All they ask is your attention. Just a few minutes a day, while brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, or watching TV, and you begin to rebuild the foundation of your independence. The next time you feel a little unsteady, don't ignore it. Don't accept it as a permanent loss. See it for what it is, an invitation to strengthen what's fading. Your body is wiser than you think. It responds when you teach it. Even if it's been years since you last thought about your balance, your body is listening. And it's ready. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Today, stand on one foot, just for a few seconds. Hold on to the sink if needed. Then try the other leg. That small act is more than an exercise. It's a message to yourself that you're not giving up. Every second you stand tall is a second closer to freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from frailty. Freedom to walk where you want, stand where you please, and move with the quiet confidence of someone in control. Don't let balance become something you mourn. Make it something you reclaim, one steady second at a time. You finally decide to give exercise a try. Maybe you saw a video online or a friend told you about the new workout routine she's doing at 70. You feel inspired. You clear some space in your living room, turn on the TV, and start following along with a fast-paced routine. It looks easy on screen, until suddenly your back twinges, your knee gives out, or you're too sore to move the next day. You sit down, discouraged, thinking, maybe this isn't for me after all. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Many older adults make this same mistake, jumping in too fast, pushing too hard, or following exercises that weren't meant for their bodies. It's not your fault. Most workout programs aren't designed with older bones, joints, or energy levels in mind. But here's the good news. You can exercise safely, effectively, and enjoyably, if you start the right way. So let me ask you a different question. What if staying active didn't mean keeping up with someone on TV, but simply doing something that fits your body, your routine, and your life? Here's what doctors, physical therapists, and decades of research all agree on. Exercise is only helpful when it's done safely and consistently. And the number one rule: start slow. There's no race. Your goal isn't to perform, it's to progress. Think of it like dipping your toes in cold water. You don't dive in, you ease in. That means, start with short sessions, even 5 minutes a day is enough. Listen to your body. If something feels painful or sharp, stop immediately. Don't push through pain. It's not a sign of strength, it's a warning. And yes, don't exercise right after eating. Give your body 1 to 2 hours to digest. Moving too soon can cause dizziness, indigestion, or even nausea. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The most dangerous time to get injured isn't when you're doing a hard workout, it's when you're doing something new without preparation. Take Mr. Kimura from California. At 79, he saw an exercise segment on television and tried to follow along with stretches that involved twisting and bending backward. He pulled a muscle in his lower back and couldn't walk without pain for 2 weeks. "I just wanted to try," he told me, "but I didn't think it would do that much harm." It's not about how hard you try, it's about how smart you move. So, now that you know how to stay safe, let's talk about the other half of the equation. Consistency. Because we all know what happens with good intentions. They're strong on day 1, weaker by day 5, and forgotten by day 10. So how do you stick with it? Here are 4 powerful, practical ways to turn exercise into a habit, even if you've never been consistent with it before. 1. Set a fixed time. Habits grow best in routine. Pick a specific time each day, right after breakfast, before your afternoon nap, or while the evening news plays. Attach your exercise to something that already exists in your day. It could be, right after I brush my teeth, I'll stretch my neck, or before I eat lunch, I'll do 5 squats. Once it becomes a rhythm, your body will naturally expect it. 2. Track your progress on a calendar. There's something magical about putting a big X or a check mark on the calendar after you move. It gives you a sense of pride. It's visual proof that you're taking care of yourself. You'll look at that chain of days and think, I don't want to break it. And when motivation dips, as it sometimes will, the calendar becomes a gentle push to keep going. 3. Find a buddy. You don't have to do this alone. Call a friend. Ask your spouse. Join a local group or a virtual one. Even just agreeing with a neighbor to call each other after stretching makes a difference. When someone's waiting to hear from you, you're more likely to show up for them and for yourself. Plus, laughing through a few calf raises is a lot more fun with someone beside you. 4. Reward yourself. We're never too old to enjoy a little reward. Tell yourself, if I exercise 5 days this week, I'll treat myself to a slice of pie, or I'll buy a new plant for the kitchen window. It doesn't have to be expensive or elaborate, just something that feels good and celebrates your effort. Because every minute you move is a win. Now, I know you might still have doubts. Maybe you're thinking, I've tried before and failed. Or, I'm too tired most days. But here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be persistent. Let me introduce you to Linda Hart, age 74, from Oregon. 4 years, she battled arthritis and the belief that movement would only make her pain worse. I thought rest was the safest thing I could do, she told me. But rest, it turns out, made her joints stiffer, her legs weaker, and her spirit duller. So she started small. 1 stretch in bed each morning. 1 walk to the mailbox. 1 shoulder roll while watching Jeopardy! 4 months later, Linda can now walk to the corner store and back. Her pain lower. Her sleep deeper. Her energy noticeably better. She still has hard days, but she has movement, and that's made all the difference. So let me remind you of something important. You don't need to do it all today. You just need to do something. 1 safe, gentle move. 1 commitment to tomorrow. 1 belief is that you're still worth the effort. Because you are. And every time you stretch, bend, or rise from a chair, safely, intentionally, and with care, you're telling your body, I'm still here. I still want to live fully. Let that be your message today. You've heard the stories of people just like you. Mr. Jenkins, who once fell and feared he'd never walk again, now strolls his neighborhood without a cane. Mrs. Hart, who believed pain would be her constant companion, now finds strength in the smallest of movements. These aren't rare exceptions. They are proof that transformation is always possible, no matter your age. But I've also met those who waited too long. Seniors lying in hospital beds, staring out the window, whispering the same words again and again. If only I had started earlier. They didn't need more time, they needed one small decision, made just a little sooner. That's why I want you to remember this. A 5-minute step today can completely change your life a year from now. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. Start with one simple thing. Roll your shoulders. Stand on one foot for a few seconds. Stretch your neck while you breathe in the morning sun. These small acts are more powerful than they seem. They are the seeds of independence, dignity, and joy. So take that first step right now. And when you do, know this, you're not just exercising. You're choosing yourself. You're choosing life. Let this be the day your new journey begins.